try your best not to stall.
Things got complicated, sir.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 worst vehicle sections in video games. For this list, we're looking at the worst vehicle-based parts of a game that have awful level design, are riddled with glitches, or just have terribly useless controls.
Roger that. Good luck. Hopefully we can put an end to this shitstorm.
Number 10. The Apocalypse in a Taxi. Alone in the Dark.
My God, it looks like a war zone.
Never before has the apocalypse seemed so dull.
I have unleashed a wickedness that waited centuries for revenge.
This part of the survival horror title is supposed to come across as a desperate escape from the end of the world in New York, but the mundane level design makes it more like a leisurely Sunday drive. As long as you can master simple left and right controls, then you will easily follow the path that is created for your straightforward bid for freedom. Don't let that dramatic music fool you either, there is no tension here. Number 9. Jeep Chase, Resident Evil 6.
Advising all personnel to be on the alert.
It's no secret that the Resident Evil games have diverted well away from their survival horror roots, and adding a high-octane car chase is about as far from those origins as you can get.
I've had enough of these stupid games.
However, it would have been acceptable to have this if it wasn't so poorly executed.
Damn it! I think this is part of our plans.
The camera is placed at such an angle that you barely have any idea what's going on around you, making the action almost nauseating. Plus, the controls are very stiff, making this essentially a lane-changing simulator.
I'm the best driver the PSAA's got.
On top of all that, there's absolutely nothing riding on this mission, as you can take a number of rockets right to the windshield and just keep on trucking. Number 8. The Swoop Bike, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. The camera angles throughout this third-person action title were largely met with critical disdain, and they're probably the main source of annoyance during this sequence, next to the controls. You can barely see what's coming up next, in a race that is way too quick for a level with such confined spaces. Without the quickest of reactions, you will be sent flying into the wall and inevitably get stuck on a protruding piece of the building. You'll be requiring a near-perfect run to get through this tedious mission. Number 7. Chariots of Dire, Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. This game as a whole was seen as a strong follow-up to the other titles in the action-adventure series, but these small sections seem like an afterthought. The horses and chariots are crudely animated in contrast to the rest of the game, and the sequences serve no purpose other than to give the player something slightly different to do.
I think you're taking this hero business a little too far.
There is also no real challenge aside from the occasional rival chariot and foot soldier or two that try to mount you. All in all, it'll leave you wondering why you were ever on a chariot in the first place. Number 6. The RC Baron, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Flying planes in this game can be difficult, but an RC plane, that's taking things to the next level. Here, the RC plane you're required to fly is famously difficult to maneuver, and the slightest bump into a lamppost or a traffic light can send you careening into a totally different direction from where you want to go. The added element of a fuel meter puts even more pressure on your ability to navigate the craft through the streets and around buildings.
Now get her back home in one piece before she runs out of fuel.
This, coupled with the need to line up your plane perfectly to shoot your targets, makes it a mission requiring a fair amount of trial and error.
Smell it. You know that ozone smell. Smells like victory.
Number 5. The LA River Chase, Terminator 2. If navigating through narrow gates and avoiding broken down cars in a weird perspective wasn't hard enough, this early 90s action-adventure gives you the T-1000 in a truck to contend with as well. Not only do you have to avoid the liquid metal Terminator, but you have to shoot back at him while still navigating the obstacles dotted throughout the level. There's barely any payoff if you do complete the level though, as it's so short that you almost get no satisfaction from a successful escape in this terribly bland section. Number 4. The Under Construction Freeway, Battlefield Hardline.
And you call my last operation a cluster?
Just drive.
Reality is suspended briefly in this escape scene from the arguably underrated first-person shooter. Everything and anything you crash into is apparently made of foam, as you easily plow your way through oncoming cars and even temporary buildings. The driving mechanics are a joke for a AAA title, as you are given no control outside of broad swings left or right, but it doesn't really matter because you're pretty much indestructible. Also, anyone who's driven around in the multiplayer will be shocked at how much they've changed the mechanics for this schlock.
One of our cars is destroyed.
Number 3. Sonic Snowboarding, Sonic the Hedgehog, 2006. The tale of the latest Sonic games has been a sad one, and this winter sports-based section exemplifies this fall from grace perfectly. It's a hot mess of glitches and unfathomable controls that make completing the level a hefty challenge. The physics are utterly broken as Sonic can defy the laws of momentum with his snowboard, coming to an instant halt for pretty much no reason.
Yes!
Also, the level is evidently incomplete and is another nail in the coffin for the unfortunate blue hedgehog. Number 2. A true ride to hell. Ride to Hell Retribution. In undoubtedly one of the worst video games ever created, the motorcycle sections of this action-adventure fail to live up to the already exceedingly low standards.
Well, I could use a drink.
If you manage to stay clear of one of the many game-ruining glitches, then you simply have to be challenged by the broken gameplay. This is the only difficult aspect of these ugly sequences, as the repetitive QuickTime events and obstacles are really easily beaten. Oh, and don't even think about trying to turn around or slow down, because the game automatically restarts you on the road if you try to do that. Thank God the glitches are so hilarious, because otherwise you'd be bored the whole way to hell. Before we reveal our top pick, let's have a look at some dishonorable mentions.
Mitchell, keep your head down. I'll take the right tack. Jackie, look.
Number 1. Roger's Jumping Car. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? You might think the NES version of this game has terrible driving, and it does, but it is still functional compared to the Amiga and Atari ST mess. How is it that in a race, your car is slower than everyone else, and you're still expected to win? Such is the logic in this multi-console title. You have to move aside for cars that fly past you, and then this changing of lanes often puts you right in the path of an oncoming vehicle. There is also a jumping mechanic that offers little help, and for some reason you can go on top of buildings, but that also has no strategic advantage whatsoever. Like with many older games, there's no real help for you, and you are left to your own devices with how you can beat this baffling level. Do you agree with our list?
Patience, man. We gotta build a relationship.
Which vehicle sections did you hate the most? For more glitch-free top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.